Welcome back to the Ultimate Beginner's Handbook. Today, I'm still not teaching how to become a Bitcoin billionaire. But I am going to teach you about some really cool stuff that does happen to help you get slightly more ahead in Outerplane. And today, that is base building. So early on, for me, this was actually one of the more confusing things about Outerplane. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know what to do or to really just progress this because it was a lot to take in. So what we're going to do today is actually help you digest this. And we're going to walk you through it step by step and make this have a little more sense. So this way it's not overwhelming. You don't feel pressured. And kind of help you guide you through this to make it actually quite helpful for you. So let's go ahead and jump over to my main account right here, and let's head to base. Now, a couple things we want to talk about from this menu is as you progress and get into it, depending on how long and how often you're on the game, when you do come in for the first time, let's say after several hours, there'll be a pop-up here that is going to be a part of the base. It's going to be from the exploration. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it'll pop up and you'll be able to reset it actually from right here. Also, the first time you come in, or just every 12 hours, there will be a button to the left right here that'll say claim rewards. That's also something from inside here from your currencies generator. So that'll also be here on your main icon. Once you get established in the game, you'll start seeing some things here. And then also, because the time we picked just happens to be so perfect, that we have access to the secret shop here. There's a special shop that appears every so many hours, and we're going to walk you through all of this. So, inside your base, the base unlocks at 3-1. And it's got like a basic little tutorial that's going to walk you through some stuff, and it'll kind of show you around. Now, what we're going to do is we're first just going to take you across everything real quick, just left to right, going over what it's here, and then we're going to come back through really quick and actually go over what each thing does inside here. So, first off, just a quick introduction. You have your, up at the top, you have the expedition teams. This is where you're going to send out for some of your daily currencies. As you see, this is going to reset in about 6 minutes, and I'll be able to show you that here shortly. You have down here is Kate's workshop. We've already talked about this briefly, but this is where you're going to do all of your major crafting. It comes from here. Then we have the supply module. Think about this as a really bad shop, and it's not ever really that good. But it's here, and they need to upgrade it. That's going to be eventually something, that they need to work on. The Antiparticle Generator is where you get your daily currencies. You can see I've been ticking on this for 8 hours, 17 minutes, and 30-ish seconds out of the 12-hour cycle. This is something that you do want to constantly keep a check on. At least get it twice a day so that you're not hitting the 24-hour or the 12-hour hard cap here. This is going to be a part of the currency you're going to need, but this is where that's going to come from. Managed facilities here is where you will do all of your upgrading. It's inside of here. Your Quirk system is basically account-wide stats, and this is going to help you progress in a lot of different ways. The Synchro Room is just this. It's a thing that allows you to rank up some specific 2-star and a 3-star character. And then Precise Craft is where you will come to create very unique one-off pieces of gear once a month. Let's now take you from this step by step, which is obviously going to be the first thing is, I think most everybody's going to ask, what do I want to level up first? So this is going to be based off of my experiences and how I had progressed. Now keep in mind that I've been told some other information, and that is that they've made this easier to level up than what it was for us. However, I'm going to give you my general thought process, and you can take it or leave it for what it is. So let's head over to the managed facilities, and I'll walk you through what I feel is the best progression based off of my experiences. Now, this is an opinion, not a fact. you could see this a different way. Eventually, this will all get maxed out, and it's up to you to figure out how do you really want to do it. But this is the way I did it, and this is the way I think it will help you progress the best. Which is, hands down, whenever there's a generator in any game, we max that thing out first. Why? The faster we can get our currency, the faster we can level it up, the more we can make, and the better off the game becomes. So, always, I say slam into the Antiparticle Generator and go through this until you get it maxed. And so what are those nodes real quick? It is increases 60 minutes. It adds 60 minutes onto your timer. Then the material for growth, which you saw in there, and we'll go over again in a minute. It adds another 60 minutes. And then the increases Aether gain. Then you get increased more growth materials. Now this doubles the time. This adds now another 120 minutes on top. Increased growth materials. Then we have more. We have another 2 hours added on. And more Aether gain. And it takes these antimatter currencies, and eventually, once you get here, these will be spent on other things after you've maxed out everything. So in this is just basically slam it through as fast as possible. Now, after this is where it really becomes subjective on how you want to progress. There's a couple different paths you can take. Do you want to go down the route of crafting gear? Are you actually to the point already, by the time this is maxed out, that you really need to be crafting gear? If the answer is no, then probably head over here to either the expedition team, which is going to generate more currencies, and based off of what it is, you will get different items here. Based on your, as you level this up. The next viable option, depending on how you want to play, is the Synchro, because I know this is going to be one where this will help you out as you try to progress, like the 2-star tower. But for somebody where I am at, this was very useless, because we needed to level up stuff early on, and it was really hard to get to, you know. It was really hard for us because we didn't have all the 3 stars at the time, and so we just leveled up 2 stars because they were good. It wasn't because we needed to do a specific stage that was only 2 stars. However, now that's more important because there are 2-star, you need to take in 2 stars, or you need to have one, or whatever the stage says in Hard Tower will tell you to use a 2-star or not. So this goes through, and you can level it up to level 100, and then when it's all said and done, it takes it up to upgrade base 6. It'll enhance all your skills to level 5, and then the most expensive one, which you probably don't have to do, is the 3-star slot unlock. Unless you just want to play with the brand new unit right away, then yes, this is a great testing format, but do note it is going to rip you 1,000 Aether. Also, this is in total, it's going to cost you 1,500 Aether, so an entire multi worth of stuff to get the final 2-star slot and the 3-star slot. So if it's not that valuable to you, you don't need to do it. Now, the next option is the supply module, which is the store. Now, the one thing we want to mention here is as you go through and level all this stuff up, it is increasing more of what you can get. However, the one that we're going to talk about in a minute is Recruit the Ace. Rico's secret shop is here. This will level up to where you get a special shop that pops up every few hours that you can go in and spend currencies on. So this would be one that you would want to push for because this can be good, and you have to also level up this shop. Then, just as to get this over with, this also increases the ability to unlock different recipes. This allows you to do the different crafting recipes, reduces the amount of materials cost, and improve the abrasive effectiveness. And this will be, I personally would not try to craft gear until this thing is completely slammed out and maxed out. Don't waste it until this thing is maxed. Which is why I also say, should you really be crafting gear until this is maxed off? It's where I kind of come from that. So, that is the managing system. So, let's go ahead and just start here from the basics. The antiparticle, this is what it means, is you're getting 26 Aether, you're getting 6 antimatter so far in the 8 hours, 5 prosciutto, and 40,000 gold per box when you claim this. So this helps you gain extra currencies. It gives you some EXP. This is not where you're going to be leveling your characters from 1 to 100 from, but it does help as part of the daily cycle. Yes, you're only going to end up with, I think it's 39 Aether in 12 hours. It's not a lot, but it will eventually pay for itself some point for all that investment you put into your, that you put in here. It helps, so it is free currencies, and eventually, like I said, antimatter becomes useless, and gold's always helpful. I have already burned, since I started leveling up gear, 70 million gold. So to give you an idea, that's a lot. That's a lot. We've done a lot of crafting, so we have that. Now, I will talk about the supply module a little bit more here, just because this is the least important and also the fastest things to come over. I'll kind of give you an idea of what I spend on. If it's something cheap that feels like it can help me, I'll kind of buy it. Should I really buy this? Probably not. I try not to spend gold if I don't have to. I never buy anything that is 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. I do look when it comes to gear and go, okay, is this a perfect rolled piece? You know, perfect rolls. You now have the knowledge from Gearing 101 to know what perfect rolls look like. I would look at this and go, do I really need a critical hit set? No, because I don't want crit chance gear ever. I want crit damage gear. It's easier to get crit chance than it is to get crit damage. So I look at that and go, no, I'm not spending $1 million on this. Now, a great one right here would be, would you buy the Reform Stones? Would you buy this? Okay, considering that I get maybe less than I think it's around 10 of those antimatter currency every 8 hours. That's a day's worth of collecting it. No, is the hammers really worth it? Yeah, I could see buying the hammers. These red hammers are going to be used for some stuff later on, but is it something you absolutely need? No, I can't really justify fully swinging on this unless I'm just swimming in them. Now, sure, I've got 300, I could, but I'm that stingy with this thing. It's kind of a garbage shop and needs an overhaul. Alright, we should almost be ready for expedition teams. Boom, here we go. Alright, so the black market procured, and we ended up with 5 of the, actually 5 rare boxes, which is really cool. And then some other random stuff. So now we can tell it to search again. Search again. Alright, we have Forge of Glory. We got some extra hammers. Search again. Alright. We have Abandoned Training Ground. We get some more EXP. Search again. Okay, so that's buggy. It's not actually searching again. Gotta report bugs. And more gold. So, search again. Yeah, it's totally bugged out. Now, as you can see, I just clicked this and I didn't really go through and explain it, but now let's actually go through and explain what's going on here using this. So, as you unlock it, you get access to this, and there's a condition. You need to have a level 10, a level 20, and level 40 characters before you can go in and actually do this. So, what this basically means is once you get 7 characters over level 40, you can max this out. Now, you also have to do that 4 times. So you need a total of 28 characters over level 40. Now, I'm going to give you a quick little TLDR tip on how to do that quickly on a new account. In the promoting units guide, we talk about skip ticketing to level up your units. If you want to do this really fast, you can go through and skip ticket 28 different units up to level 40, and they can all sit there. You can also use just some of your EXP stuff. It's okay to put yourself a day or 2 behind from hitting level 100. It won't make or break a whole lot of stuff in the beginning. So you can go ahead and get 28 level 40 characters, technically, to make it just easy on who goes where, so you can just hit auto and you don't have to worry about where they go. And then after that, you're good. So think about this. You have 4 characters you need for your hunt. So there's 4 of them already taken care of. You need 4 for the weapon hunt. There is 3 more taken up right there. What happened to 4? Because it's a duplicate of one of your other teams. You have your Demi unit that you pulled for, so there's another one that will probably be leveled up some. And then after that, you can go through and just pick up several if you want to start looking at PvP teams, if you want to start just looking up at just who has the bigger cup size. Great, cool, go for it. I'm not judging, there's no judgment here. And just remember, eventually they'll be picked at random, and it doesn't matter who's actually on there. There's no special bonuses or anything like that. This is just random currency. Now, some of you may ask, what about the Abandoned Factory of Revolution? Well, the reason why I decided on not doing this is because, honestly, with the amount of gear farming you're doing, I don't value any of these at that stage. Now, I could honestly say potentially coming off of the gold, maybe, or the hammers for this, or maybe the EXP. Depends. I mean, any one of these you could technically take off if this was something you were really struggling with right in the beginning. But let's be honest, as soon as you start getting junk gear, you're going to be dismantling this crap all over the place. Because you don't need 1-star, you don't need 2-star, you don't need 3-star, you're not going to use 4-star. You're probably going to skip through most of your 5-star gear unless it's red and event gear. But I think even then, you're probably using 6-star gear at this point. You don't need any of that stuff. So with all the dismantling of gear you're going to be doing, I don't value this, where I at least value getting extra gold, getting extra hammers, more EXP to level somebody up. Please let me trust somebody up. Anything to help. So I look at that and go, okay, I think those are the best for the way I play. You can figure out the rest from there. Now, again, we will go into a full crafting guide later on, so we're not going to really sit on this because I'm going to walk you through all of that later. This is more the TLDR of the overall base. But just know, as you leveled up, you are getting access to rank them up. The guaranteed will make sure that you can pick a guaranteed piece of armor, that you'll have to have the currencies. You craft everything here. You've got all your different hunts, and you can see which ones I do and do not do, because based off of the currencies, there are some you just don't do. Same thing goes for armor, or for weapons and accessories. You will need to have this. The legendary guarantee is really good. You can pick what you need. Each one's got its own thing. Craftable, consumable stuff. This kind of is pretty self-explanatory when you look at it at what you're getting. You're being able to craft the reforged materials based on what you have. There's obviously currencies you can't get. There are limited currencies on how many times you can craft. Stat changes, which, you know, obviously there is better options over these. You can only craft so many. This is for the reforging when you're just doing raw blanket crafting without, what's the word I'm looking for? Without actually guaranteeing. This is what you would use to either get you a better epic chance, or do you want to see a better legendary chance. Unfortunately here, the currency of choice is going to be the anti-material, because this is, you're going to be using more of this more often, and I would not want to use this. But you could technically, if you absolutely have to, and you were still in the process of using this, you could throw your greens in here, but do know it is a lot of greens. And I don't recommend you guys doing this. So, this is something that will eventually come later. Reforged catalysts. You can technically craft up and get these, but again, you're going to be breaking down enough gear eventually that you don't need to do this, and there's better ways of getting the reforge, so this kind of has become neglected. This is a seal exchange, so that you can craft what you need, so you can take the thing that you farm a crap ton of and exchange it into the thing you never want to farm. And then this is stuff for your exclusive equipments and your charms, and then the ability to refine your armors. So, next up, we are going to go over to the Quirk system. The Quirk system, I don't think will need its own video, because I think we can cover pretty much the TLDR here that gets you to know everything you need to know about this. And that is, this is going to be something that will take a lot of time and a lot of resources. The first thing everybody wants to ask here is, what do I level up? Where do I, and where do I start? Honestly, the best one here is counteract strong enemies. Reason why is because eventually you can do 30% more damage to bosses. The more damage you do to the boss, the faster you can beat it, the more likely you are to progress higher, faster, stronger, because most everything at the end has a boss at it. And then this is also just increasing raw damage. The number 2 thing that I would probably suggest after that is going into strikers and mages. Honestly, I would pick whichever one I'm grinding more or using more often as my damage dealer for most of my boss clearing stuff, and do it. But eventually this will have to be something you will level up everywhere. After that, it kind of becomes, what do you want to go? Where do you want to do? You could start doing your elemental damages. Utility does have some good stuff in here. You can increase your max stamina, which is nice. There are increases account experience acquired, but once you start getting into the utility, drop rate is helpful for hunts and stuff, but reduced crafting costs. But this is going to get expensive, and I could see why people want to go to this first, but you want to get your damage done before you get in here. At least get your boss done before you jump into utility, because if we look at it from the resource crafting, we're looking at 4, probably what, 8, probably less than 12% increase. I mean, it's not going to make or break what you're doing, but it will help eventually, especially when you start chasing it. And a venture license, with preceding with a venture license battle, increased damage dealt by bosses by 10. And again, this will need a special currency that you will get later on. We'll be talking about adventure licenses later. This will take quite a while to level up due to that currency. So that is the quirk system. It's basically just bonus stats for your account overall. Synchro device is exactly what it is. It takes a character that is level whatever. So in this case, we'll grab a random character here. Let's grab Shu and level her up. So there you go. Instantaneously, I now have the Synchro. She's now level 100, 6 stars, which I think she already was. Max upgraded. So she's now level 6, but she's now a Synchro character. So I can now go take this unit out, and she's fully built at the cost of my time and sanity in leveling this up. Now, let's say I no longer want to use Shu. Great, cool. There's a 12-hour cooldown. We remove it, and it pops up with the cooldown right there. So now in 12 hours, we can do that. Same thing applies here to your 3 stars. We want to get a hero leveled up. Cool, great. Pick any one of them that aren't leveled up, and you can now add in a 3-star here, and it is leveled up. So now this is fully skilled out, and it has the upgrade to 6. All of them have a 12-hour timer. So this will be what you'll use to start clearing those towers. You may have to progress a little slower than you want, especially early on if you don't have the slots and you already have it to the level. You will be able to progress through that. Now, precise craft is exactly what it sounds like. You can precisely craft one piece of gear through this once a month. I highly recommend do not use boots, gloves, chest armors. Do not do this. These are far easier to get. Now, why is that? Because these all have guaranteed stats that are going to roll on their main accessory, or on their main part of the piece. So what this means is the helmet will always roll health, the chest will always roll flat defense, the glove will always roll accuracy and flat defense, the boots will always roll evasion and HP. However, they all have the chance when you're rolling gear to roll the different set, unless you are forcing it through the guaranteed craft. Now here's where this gets annoying. Weapons are much harder to get a hold of. You have not only can they roll attack, HP, and defense, but now they have all the different subsets they can roll on the different set that they can roll. The only thing you can guarantee when you craft this is it HP, attack, or defense when you're rolling forward in the crafting. So here, you're able to do a lot more for this. You can dial in. You can really get this set up a lot easier and make it more specific for what you need. This isn't something you want to come here and just throw away right away because you think you need this. Hang on to this. Wait till you get some units built, and then start looking at their next phase of gear, because I'm going to tell you right now, this currency isn't easy to get a hold of, but it's not hard to get a hold of. You are going to be limited to this to a point. Same thing with accessories. Accessories is the same thing. You can pick the main stat that goes on it, but you can't pick the set. So, having this available to perfectly craft your accessories and your weapons is way more beneficial than getting the armor. For whatever reason, maybe you are absolutely getting rickrolled. Rick Astley is coming out and he is telling you he's never going to give you up. He will never let you down. But it's time to finally craft that piece? Sure. I could see it in a far, far away future if there's one piece you're just absolutely missing that you need perfect for your gear. There's nothing you've been able to do to get it. You've rolled, months worth of materials. Sure. there are always exceptions, but the general use, if we're going to use this effectively, is weapons and accessories. You get to pick the unique stat, the main stat, and the substats. So, let's look at, next is going to be the, where to get the experience, or the items. So, for the Quirk, real quick on this, to get the 2 currencies here that are needed, if we jump in here, and we click on this, it'll tell you what you need. The Proof of Destiny. This is going to come from the island. The Token of Connection will also come from the island. Now that you can see when you're in here in the specific element, you will need these refined upgrade stones as well. So this will have to be something you'll have to pre-plan when you go farming when leveling up the main node for like these. And as you go in here and level them up, they're also expended on all these nodes. It'll help you do damage in here. So where is that island exactly? We'll eventually go into a more detailed guide on this. In the adventure area, we have, come on, load. Terminus Island. In here, every day you'll be able to come in and do a round of this. If you pay for it, you can do 2 rounds. You will do auto formation. You'll send your characters out. You'll start your exploration, and then on these you will be rewarded different things. You'll get different quirk enhancement materials as you progress through this. So you'll get a little bit of that, as well as while you're here, you will be earning stuff for the Effectium to be able to craft that gear. Now let's head over here to the shop, because there is a little bit of Effectium you want to know about while we're talking about it. This is the only thing you actually can purchase daily, and it is under resources right here. I've already purchased it for the daily. It's 100 Effectium every day for 50,000 gold. Snag it up and add it to your collection, because it will eventually help. So that is everything that you would need to know about in building the base as a brand new player. A lot of really cool stuff. Pretty neat. Now that they've added this other shop since I was here, since I had quit, I actually like this. The secret shop, actually, we didn't talk about it now that I'm thinking about it. So, real quick, is the secret shop is now open from Rico's secret shop. What do you buy in here? Here is what I would do. I would buy anything in here for gold, because it's going to level her shop up, and you need it leveled up. Would I buy the 10 hammers for 75? Absolutely not, but it is tempting to look at when I'm looking at the EXP needed, and we'll talk about why in just a second. Special recruitment tickets, yes, when they are on sale, I will buy it, because it reduces my pity cost. So that this is right now is a 1-to-1 exchange. I would not do this. But if it is leveled up, or reduced at a discount, yes, I would do it. I do not buy the skill books. I do not buy the gear. I do not buy any of this right now. Even though that is a great item, I don't want to spend 2,000 Aether on it. It is not valuable to me. Now let's talk about her different levels of tiers, because this is why you do want to keep pushing to level it up. So that's why I'm always spending gold to get further on. Now let's check this out. So I am currently at special. Mom always said I was special. The max discount rate will increase, and the chance of higher item quality in the 3rd and 5th slot will improve. Okay. So the 3rd and the 5th slot, whatever they classify as 3rd and 5th slot, I think you can see that right in the beginning. But now that I've spent it, I don't think you can actually tell. Then Diamond, the maximum discount rate will increase. The 2 substats on the gear can appear at the minimum of level 2. VIP will event at a level of 3. VVIP, minimum of level 3. VVVIP, level 4. So the gear is even up even further. So no telling what this will actually end up costing, but still, it's worth doing and worth leveling up. So come in and just level it up off the junk. as best as possible, and eventually you'll hit the max level here. Currencies are always huge and helpful, so I'm always for stuff like this. You know, it's not like base building, like where you get to go around and place all your stuff. I know some people enjoy that, but for what it is, it gives you a little bit of currencies and it helps you out. It helps you progress the game. It's not something you do want to neglect. This is a completely helpful area, depending on where you are. So that's it. That is the base building. So next up, we're going to be going into event stories. We'll be covering everything you need to know about that to help you progress as you go through events, to help you just really understand how to farm them and the importance of why some of the items in the shop are actually really good. And also, hey, don't miss this. You might overlook this. There's a few things that you do want to check on in there. So that's going to be great. That's going to be fun. I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and as it progresses, more videos are coming. There's far more down there left to be made. So, as always, guys, if you have any questions, you know where to find me on Discord, in YouTube comments, on my streams. Doesn't matter what we're doing. I'll be happy to help you guys out. Hit me up whenever. And, yeah, y'all take care, enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one.